Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to today's Whips and Bits. Now come on, let's go and see what I've got for you today. Okay, so before we start, I'd like to explain. It's flipping hot here in the UK. I managed not to swear. It is already kicking on 20 odd degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's right, I'm recording this at 6 AM. I've got up, I've got washed, I've got dressed. I ain't drying it. The heat will do it in about half an hour knowing me. So I'm getting this Whips and Bits hopefully recorded early doors today so that I can pop it up, of course, this evening, ready for you on a Sunday. Don't worry, I will add in any extra bits and pieces that I need to as the day goes out. It'll be more likely this evening that I add extra bits in because I'm off to work at 7. So I'm up the office. So let's get on with this video and I'll explain more about the office in a little bit. Okay, so first up today, of course, is our video roundup. So this is, of course, all the videos that I've put out over the last week. Now, it's been a little bit quieter this week than it was last week because, of course, last week was birthday week, so you get more videos. So this week we had a happy mail. It was a prize winnings from our Christmas on Crestline. So that was a couple of really cute t-shirts that have already been worn at least 3 times this week. They get worn, washed and put back on again the next day. They are washing up beautifully. So if you want to have a look at that video, have a click on the I button up here. The next video was first attempt at dyeing cotton yarn. How bad can it be? Part 2. Now, of course, please remember, I've never dyed anything, never done a tie-dye. That's my daughter's. And yeah, I was not very good at things like that at school, so they left me in the back of the classroom to get on with whatever I had to get on with. So this is the reveal where you get to see what the colourways look like as they were washed up and then hanked at the end. There are photographs of them taken in natural daylight so that you can see what the colourways actually look like, because on camera, even in here, they don't show up as good as they could. So make sure you check those photos out and tell me in the description box of that video which colourway did you like the most. And then the last video out this week was the second from last is a book review, and it's a crochet for children. So again, the link is up here. It's got some really cute semi-simple designs in there, and it really does depend on your comfort level as to which one you would think would be the easiest. Whether it yeah, because I can't remember what's in it now. I'll have to have another look. It's under the table until I take it back. Coffee time. I need to wake up my brain cells. Very true. Very true. Okay, so what have I been up to this week? It's been a bit of a weird one because I'm helping up at the office now because husband's got himself what I'm going to call the proper job, which means he's got a pay packet. So I've taken over the engraving side of the business because, of course, it's something I know I can do. Whereas building the computers, although he says you could do it, for me it's a bit of a touch too far. Okay, I might get there one day, but definitely not at the moment. So I leave the build side to him. So I'm doing the engraving, and we've got an order that's come through, and as I'm sitting there swapping out the components in the engraving machine, making sure it's all level, and then setting it going so it goes zip zip zip, 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 zip. For any of you that know what a Cylon is, that's what it sounds like. Or was it Kit the car? But basically, that's what it is for the entire day. Now, that's why I'm recording this video now, because up the office is a little bit noisier. I'm trying to find a clearer space. I thought I'd found one until my husband's a friend who's using part of the office came back. I'd set up yesterday and to do some recording, and it appeared to be a lot quieter than the last place I'd set up. So I've set up, got everything ready to go. I've done the first little section of recording, and it was a bit where I was just gonna do the item pretty much in one go, and then fast forward where I needed to and do the editing basically at home. I wasn't really going to put any major vocals over it, and if I was, I would do it at home. And I've just got into the swing of things, and I'm just crocheting along. Got halfway through the row. Very complicated row as well. Halfway through the row, and he turns up. He goes, "Oh, you're on my table." I said, "Okay, I'll move." So I've had to move all of my stuff. I'd even got little caddies sitting by the side. It was all looking really girly. Yarn everywhere. There was me stuff basically. There was me crochet hooks and everything. I had to move the lot. So I moved it all back onto the table that I had been working on, that was super noisy. Reset up the camera because I knew I was going to over edit it anyway, and overdub it. And then I started working. But I got in a muddle. I was joining squares together and I put them in the wrong order twice. So I'd done the whole row of joining it, stopped to have a look and was like, well, that load of filming's rubbish. Let's rip it back. So yesterday I spent most of the day ripping back the crochet that I was doing, but I was just like, oh, I'll get to it. So I have finished it. Whether anything that I've recorded actually makes it onto the channel is another matter. It may just be another one like the cat jumper, where you get a basic pattern on how to do the stitch, and then the rest of it's in the written pattern. I hate doing it, but needs must really. It's a case of will it, won't it? Yeah, so that's pretty much what I was up to yesterday. I'm just trying to think. Oh, and I've also started having a nose at a pattern that I'm helping out with, where I'm proofreading and testing and filming for them. So I'm partway through proofreading. Google Docs, it's amazing. Every time you hit the button and put an apostrophe in, it tells the person what you've done. So I'm leaving it, and they can agree to all of it, like anything that I've put in, along with captions like, "Crikey, it's 11:30. I can't believe my brain's still working." Underneath an edit where I've put an apostrophe in. And then my brain's still working, and all this sort of stuff that's on the pattern. Hopefully when they read it, the little extra bits, it will make them giggle, so that they know that I'm not being malice with any of the changes that I've put in. But to be honest, all I can find is apostrophes that are missing. So pretty good write-up so far. It might be a different matter when I get to filming, and of course I've then got to read it. Because of course it's not in poppy speak, it's in normal pattern speak, whereas normally if it's one of mine, it's in poppy speak, so I don't have to read all the ins and the ands and the ats. But I put them in, of course, during a video. Oh, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see how it turns out. I just hope I've chosen the right yarn for it, because I haven't got a lot of multiple colours at the moment, and I wasn't too sure which colours I wanted to blend, so I grabbed some cakes because they need to be gone, and I know that everybody can get their hands on them. So I'll have to wait and see, and fingers crossed it turns out okay. If it doesn't, I'll be making it again in boring plain colours. This one's a bit of a mix and a match. I'm going to leave it like that and see if you can guess what style of yarn out of all of the different ones I've got. They're all on the channel. You know about every bit of yarn now. Okay, so now it's time for my completed whips. I've got one, well, two I suppose. Let's start off with the non-crochet, or at least it's non-crochet. Yeah, it's the hand-dyed yarn. You never know, because it's so early, you guys might be able to see the colourways a little bit better. Okay, so these are the ones that I dyed a couple of weeks ago that you've been seeing in the video. If you haven't had a chance to see it, watch the dyeing video with about half an hour left. That's when I start actually dyeing them, I think. Okay, and that's the fun bit. You don't need to really worry about me sitting there soaking it and squidging it and all that boring prep stuff. But it's in there just in case. Okay, now I'm not brilliant at dyeing. I've not done it before, and of course I don't know how to hank properly. So, and these hanks were actually wound around the bottom of a laundry basket, not on a proper spinny wheelie hanky thingy. No, a laundry basket. So the sizes are going to be off. Right, so we have, hold on, I've got to get this right. This is the Signet base that I'm holding here, which is the 100% cotton. Okay, now I've got to guess what I've got. Where was it? There we go. Now there is 4 20-gram hanks and 2 10-gram. That makes 100, doesn't it? Yeah. I had to do the math in my brain. At 6:20 AM. And only a quarter of the cup of coffee's been drunk. Right, okay, so let's start off with the 2 100 hanks. Okay, we had a solid pink. And then this one I believe is Paint Box. It's the one I had fun with. No, Play with Colours, I nicknamed this one. Because I actually mixed my own shade up around here. This bit here between the blue and the pink. I actually mixed that up in a container just by adding a bit. Because I went, oh, there's a bit left. Let's add something else. And I put something else in. So that's my own colourway. I'll never get it again because there was no measurements. Okay, so those, as I said, those are the 2 little 10-gram hanks. Nothing special, nothing massive yet until they're made into something. And I don't quite know what. The next 4 are, no, let's do the next 2. The next 2 are the 200s. Not 200, sorry, the 20s. Now this one was a solid, actually, oh, it matches my dress really well, you can't see it. Okay, this is a solid blue, and then this one here was Splat, I believe. Is that Splat? Did I write it? No, I didn't. Okay, but yeah, that looks like Splat. And Splat was where I dipped one end in, and then the other end, because the gloves were so tatty, I just rubbed some dye on them and splattered it, because the dye was balling up in certain areas on the gloves where they were all crinkled. It's given me this really cool little pattern at the end. Okay, yeah, so that's my solid and my things. So those ones I'll probably end up working together. It's trying to work out what order they would go in a project, because I can't really mix the 2 different sets up because of different washing instructions and things like that, because one's an acrylic and one's acrylic cotton, and they're different weights. Yeah, I really didn't think about that when I did it. Okay, and then the last 2 are the rainbow. This one here. And then this one was another Splat where I did multiple colours of. So it's basically just speckle galore. Oh, that's such a better name. Or is it Splat or Spittle? Oh, it don't matter, does it? It's not like I'm selling them. Okay. So that's those 2. And then we go on to the cotton acrylic mix. Now these guys, oh, that doesn't belong there. Now because of the acrylic in these, the yarn hasn't taken the dye as strongly as it did on the others. Now they were dyed at the same, like the rainbow one was dyed at the same time, doing exactly the same method because I had them both on the plastic at the same time. They were both rinsed at the same time, but the mixed one didn't take it as strongly. So this one is a lighter rainbow. Okay, there's our lighter rainbow. That's the old one. So you can see there's only a slight tonal difference, but it's definitely lighter. Okay, and then we had the blue, which isn't blue, it's purple. That's blue, that's purple. Although you can't really, oh, I don't know, you can just about make it out in today's sunlight. Okay, and then my favourite, which is this one here, which has got a little touch of brown in there somewhere. Yeah, down the bottom here. But that is actually orange, that random colour. But that one there is my favourite out of all of them actually. This camera doesn't show them too well. So what I'll do is I'll pop a video, put a still up now, like a photo up now. So that were the cottons that I dyed, and finally I've been able to show them on a Whips Bits. Right, okay, the next item up, of course, I finished him, well, apart from some ribbon. Okay, so let me just find his page. Of course, I told you earlier on in the month that I was making Benedict the Shrew. How cute. He's such a cute guy. Now, I don't know why I do it. I seem to think that when I make things out of this book, they're going to be this big. Maybe the left leg. Right, okay. The reason I say it like that is because, of course, I've already made one creature from this book, which was the chameleon, which I'm just trying to find for you because I can get away with showing you that one again. Where are you? There he is. Now, I made Molly the chameleon quite a while ago now, and this is what Molly looks like. Now called George the chameleon. Now, when you look at the picture, he looks diddy. But even using I thought it was because I changed the materials that I used. That was why George was so big. But now I found, let's move George back. Now I found that the Signet cotton, where are you? I've lost it. I've lost my brain. I need more coffee. Give me a sec. Now, while I was looking for comparable yarns this time around, because that's what I decided to do, I decided to try and find a yarn that had the same makeup as the yarn that they used in the book. Okay, now I couldn't find, well, I could find the yarn that was in the book, but I wasn't willing to pay the prices that I was getting quoted for it. I can't remember how much it was now. But I was like, no, I am not paying that much for that yarn because it's only for a stuffy. So I looked up online what the yarn was that they used in this book, so that I had the weight of the ball, how many yards there were or meters there were, so that I could work out whether the balls that I was looking at were either the same weight or thicker or thinner. Okay, now I found one that was exactly the same. So all of the measurements were the same. So it was the same weight ball, it was the same amount of yardage, meterage. And that one was actually the Yarn Art Baby Cotton. Now, because this was exactly the same weight, as far as I'm concerned, my little critter that's sitting on the table is the same size now as the ones that are in there. Might be out by a millimetre or two because of my tension, of course, but no, the same size as the book. Are you ready for this? It's missing some ribbon. Okay, that is it. I thought I had some and then I remembered I used it all on Big Sissy's on my Big Sissy's top that I made last summer, and I haven't got around to replacing it. Now, he hasn't got any eyebrows yet, and basically I haven't finished the final details as in the hand embroidery or adding the ribbon on. So you're just going to have to use your imagination until next week when I can get out and actually go and buy the stuff I need. It won't take me long. It'll take about 30 seconds to fix him and to finish him off, but of course with me and finishing off projects, I don't always do it, do I? Most of the time it's the ends that left to be sewn in. But I'm sorry, let's get back to Benedict. Alright, okay, so let me show you what he's meant to look like. He is meant to look like this gorgeous guy here. You ready to see what he looks like? Do-do-do! Here he is! Come on, show your best side, Benedict. Where's your best side? Okay, there we go. So there he is. And yes, he is that big. There you go. So we'll guesstimate it on my head size. Let's pop him up against how tall? There's my ruler. Not tall enough. Okay. Oh, Benedict. He is approximately 8 inches. Okay. So, here he is up against my hook. But yeah, he's approximately 8 inches tall. So he needs, as I said, he needs his ribbon here. And yes, I meant to put his head on wonky. I always end up putting something on wonky. So I put his head on wonky. His arms are on wonky. The only thing that's correct is his legs and his tail are in the right spot, but the rest of it's wonky. But to me, I like doing it like that because it gives it a little bit more character. But as I said, he's missing the ribbon here to hold his top on. And of course his extra facial details, but I'll show you those next week when I've done it. And the hat actually does come off and the ears stay on. I was quite shocked about that when I was making it. I really did think you would just make the hat and sew the ears on the hat. I am so lazy. But no, you have to make sure you get them in exactly the right spot for the hat and everything else. Oh, that was a bit that scared me because normally they're the bits that are the wonky bits for me. But no, we did alright this time round. Yeah, so he's going to go next to my sunflowers for now. I'll stick a little label on him so I know which book he came out of. So that at a later point, if any new crazies ask, I can tell them. So that's Benedict, and that is from Amigurumi Treasures 2. And there is a link now up here so that you can have a nose if you've missed that book review, because it is quite an old one now. Right, okay, so lights moved around a little bit so I gave it 10 minutes because I was checking my editing. Right, and now a little bit of extra info. If you guys are looking into purchasing any of my patterns at the moment, I've got a 10% discount off all of the patterns that are on my Ravelry shop. But what I do say is, if you are planning to buy, sorry, I've got it written down here, so if you see my eyes dart, you'll know why. But if you are planning to buy the Pops a Baby Hat and Blanket set, or the Biddy Hat and Baby Blanket set, or the Cheeky Monkey Poncho and Hat set, don't use the discount code, okay? Do those as a separate purchase because they've got a better deal on them where you get 50% off the hat pattern, so you save yourself £1, not 10% of the original of the two prices together. They don't work out as good. But otherwise, if you're just looking to either pick up the blanket or just the poncho and you don't want the hat, that's fine. You can then apply it to the code, which is gift, which is on screen now. But of course that goes for every pattern. That includes this one and this one, these guys here. Oh, wrong way. Them guys there. All of the blankets hiding behind the shirt. Basically, any of the patterns over on Ravelry, 10% off. Now that runs until the end of this month. Okay, so I will be popping a link in the description box to Ravelry, and of course there is the Ravelry picture that comes up on the end screen. If you click on that as well, that will take you directly over to my Ravelry as well. Now it's time for the bestest bit of this video, which of course is your photographs. So come on, let's go and see who sent what in this week. Weren't they all stunning? Right, that is pretty much it for me for today. So if you could do me a big fat favour as you've made it to the end of the video, if you could hit that thumbs up and make sure you leave me a comment in that comment section. I will get to replying to them later on when I get home, as my tablet is in for repair. I broke the charging port. And I've got to wait 3 to 4 days for the part to come in. It's now in pieces, so I can't use it. So if I'm checking my emails or any other thing to do with this channel, I have to come in here and do it. I wish I could remember my password for you so I could do it on my other computer, on my little laptop. But no, got to be done on here. So that is it for me for today. I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really soon. So remember, stay chilled, stay happy and keep crafting. Ta-ra for now, everybody.